Hello everyone, welcome to a kind of a short video where I try to give you some tips and show you overall a little bit of Quinn Jungle gameplay. For those of you out of the loop, I pretty much became a dedicated Quinn Jungle around season 13 with zero prior jungle experience, griefing my MMR, but eventually grinding my way back up. One season later, in season 14, I got my first time ever reaching Masters with this pick, and once again not too long ago in season 15. Although, don't look it up, I started queuing shortly after in autopilot, followed by a tilt spree, followed into a random spree of everyone banning Quinn because of high win rate, ranged top laner propaganda. Eventually, the account got cursed, and I'm not willing to play on it again, at least for a while. But anyways, that's a story for another time. Right now, I'm using another account, reached Diamond with 70% win rate, so hopefully it'll show that Jungle Quinn is not as troll as people make it out to be. However, before you jump into a rank with this, let me say it's definitely not easy to play her in the jungle. If you get behind early, it will be very rough to come back, and you're not gonna have a good time. But anyways, that's enough about that, and let's talk about this game. This game, we are against Rengar. I personally think it's a fun matchup, but you have to be careful. Rengar is one of those champions who could try to invade you. Think of it like a Talon, Kha'Zix, those type of junglers. So it's really important being mindful and try not to get jumped on this game. I'll talk a bit more about that shortly, as you'll see Rengar will try to invade me. For this game, and honestly most of my games, I'm playing Fleet Footwork. I think overall it's the most consistent. It keeps you really healthy, and it's really good when you need to get some distance or even close it without relying too heavily on your E. Your E being a really vital cooldown for you to stay as safe as possible. If you get jumped on in a camp without your E available, there's a really high chance you will die. So right now I'm clearing top to bot, since I have a Morgana support who can set up kills nicely for us with her CC, and we just spotted Rengar on his Raptors. So I'm thinking on the back of my mind, there's a high chance Rengar could invade me, so I'm actually aware of the danger I might be in pretty shortly. So as I'm finishing Raptors and the possibility of Rengar invading lingering in my mind, here's a key thing you should do, and that is using your W to scout for the invade. And look at that, who could have predicted Rengar being here? So I pinged my teammates to make them aware of the situation, and luckily my Morgana avoids getting engaged by the Alistar. So this is a pretty high stress situation, right? I end up being a little impatient. I was being extra careful and ended up wasting my Q on the bush trying to hit Rengar, but it's not the end of the world. And here I misplay a little bit. I should have attacked the red buff to get my mark off, and probably with the movement speed it gave, I would have closed enough distance to get my Rengar with my E and chase him down. I ended up having to flash, and we get the kill. For some reason, Rengar didn't flash away, so we take those. I didn't show this, but my Ziggs outplayed a little bit via Aphelios and Alistar. He knocked Aphelios into the tower and managed to get a kill, so good for him. I used this time to secure the bot crab and use a bit of time to set up deep vision in Rengar's jungle. And I briefly considered attempting to steal his blue, but figured that was psychopathic behavior, so I just went back to clear my bot side. And we see Rengar in his bot side, thanks to the ward we placed. There was a low chance Rengar going top anyways, but it's always nice to have visual confirmation of his whereabouts. So as I'm finishing my bot side, I'm thinking about just finishing my red and recalling to spend my gold. But since I spotted Rengar on his blue side and see he only bought a longsword, since he only did 3 camps and then disaster struck him. He's not really that much stronger than me, so I thought, you know what, I'll just finish my red and also deny him from doing the second crab. If we for some reason fight for it, I got red buff and he doesn't, so that's a nice advantage. And the fight will be in the river and I have water walking, so it kind of mitigates the longsword difference. So now I got the second crab as well, and I really want to recall, but there's an opportunity to maybe kill the Aurora, so I'm debating either to try or just recall. And here I'm changing the perspective to red side just to show how it looks like for her and how little time she had to react. And water walking comes in handy too. The extra movement speed helps in closing the distance. It turns out to be an easy kill. Press W as she goes into the bush and get the last auto attack off for an extra 300 gold. I changed the perspective back to blue team, and as you can briefly see, my W catches a glimpse of Rengar and he's walking towards the river. I notice it and I ping, so I let my teammates know. There's a high chance he's trying to be sneaky on me and jump at me on my topside camps. At this point I really want to back, but Rengar trying to steal my topside camps is kind of illegal. His top laner is dead and Sion is just coming back from base, so I decide to, defend my Grump. I don't want him to take it. But notice how I'm hanging around the top side and not even using my E at all, because I'm expecting Rengar to be here. My suspicion was right, and Rengar jumps at me. Honestly, here I start misplaying. I get a little too overconfident and start playing like a bronze player, no offense intended. Fortunately, he bronzes out as well and hands me yet another kill. But honestly, all that fighting was a mistake by me. There's really no reason for me to be here anymore. I got my Grump, so I should just try to immediately disengage and spend my gold. But it is what it is. He fortunately misplayed as well and gave us another kill. So now Rengar's game is really looking really bad. Soon I'm gonna start turning the tables on him, and now I'll be the one to start invading him. Now I want to start playing for the dragon. But first I want to clear my top side, and we briefly spot Rengar on a ward. So for now I'm thinking, I have time to finish my blue and get level 6, and if needed, I'll just fly at Mach 1 to the dragon. Sion is pinging me like a madman to come top. So I look at it, looks like a good gank, especially since I'm gonna get level 6 now. So I finish my blue, get level 6, and just look for the kill. I think this sort of situation is one that Quinn abuses the most or the best with the movement speed she has on her ult, just coming in and flying at Mach 1 and attacking once or twice to kill them. That's where Quinn really thrives. And I think you'll see another example of that later on this video, where I just fly from, I believe, dragon all the way to top lane and kill them again. Here Corki gets cut out a little bit. I ult and come flying in as fast as I can. Just use my aura to get the Corki to safety. The important part in all of this is that we notice the Rengar being really low, like half HP. And I know he wants to get his camps on the top side, right? So I use my scanner, the sweeper, just to make sure I'm not crossing any wards. And now I'm turning the tables on him. I'm the one invading this time. I chunked out the Rengar really hard, but now it's time to leave. I won't be able to kill him and Kassadin is collapsing, so I retreat for now. Here's the thing, Rengar is really low and he might be stubborn and try and finish his red buff. So I ult again, and Kassadin places down a ward, which I considered a little too late. I should have sweepered like here immediately, but I'm not in vision anyways. That ward didn't actually spot me, just barely. But I come back and sweep it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because I revealed I was coming back in. But Rengar maybe didn't notice, or he was too stubborn, and he gives me yet another kill. Here I'm thinking I need to recall since I have enough gold to get my first item, Collector. But I realize Morgana is still around and the grubs are up. So if there's a chance to take the grubs, it would be now with the help of my Morgana. So I can take them as fast as I can. And after that, it would be immediate recall, get my item, and look for the dragon. Now this is kind of a side note. I didn't really talk about the runes I use. I mentioned about fleet footwork being like the most consistent and being useful to getting distance or gap closing without relying too much on your E. But there's other options you can use too, like electrocute, for example. If they're mostly squishy, electrocute is a good page to go for. And even first strike, I sometimes run first strike, kind of like a Kha'Zix does. It generates extra gold, it gives you extra damage. If you think you will be able to get the jump on them first, then first strike would be a good rune choice. If not, then electrocute. If you don't want to go fleet footwork. After we finished the grubs, we saw Rengar trying to do the dragon. Fortunately, we are fast and managed to get there, and also Botlane had prio, so he couldn't really do it. He backed off, and R6 kind of sacrificed himself to get the first turret. So I can't go for the dragon just yet, because I don't have a bot lane pretty much. I was thinking about maybe ganking them, but ultimately I didn't want to risk dying for whatever reason. I'm way stronger, but if anything goes wrong, I would give a pretty fast shutdown and the game would swing back. Not in their favor, but it would help them quite a bit. So I decided to just chill, do my camps, and just take it slow. Corki face checks the bot side river. He ends up dying. And I scout the area for any vision. Alistar wants to get some vision as well. He face checks the Morgana and ultimately dies. Now is the perfect time to take the dragon. R6 is around, Morgana is around with us. So, and we are way stronger than the Rengar. So if he comes and fights us, I don't think it's a winning battle for him. Now this situation presents itself again, like I was telling you. There's an enemy laner, really low. He's trying to push the wave in. I just come flying, like it's a free kill if I manage to get there in time, right? Unfortunately I don't. I'm just a little too late, but I still managed to get here and kill the greedy Rengar trying to get some plates. But that's the thing, they get this false sense of security, like, oh, Quinn is in the bot side, she just took the dragon. But they don't realize how fast I can actually get to places. And also I don't have the blue smite completed just yet. When you get that, the movement speed you get by flying into the bushes just really exacerbates your ability to just fly around the map. From here on out, the game is pretty simple. There's really nothing too crazy going on. So I'll just let the video play itself. But the main idea is pretty much fighting over every objective. We are way stronger, so Rengar getting any sort of objective is illegal. So we want to play for those and just farm our camps, chill out, and go for any favorable fights. Here, Rengar with the help of Kassadin gets a kill from the other side of the map. I realize Kassadin's gonna come over to mid lane, so I ping my Corki to maybe collapse on him, but he wants to recall, and I respect that, so I just let him. Now I get spotted by the Scryer's Bloom, so I kind of fake out my direction, make it look like I'm going back into my jungle, but my real intention was always to go for Rengar's red buff. I used the sweeper, I got spotted by the pink ward, but I managed to get away with the sneaky smite steal. Honestly, I think that was a mistake. That's a kind of risky play to go for. The red doesn't really do anything for us, but I bet Rengar is pretty tilted at this point. After finishing the Rift Herald, Dragon is coming up, so I want to be there, try and get some vision, maybe make a pick. We see Rengar on his wolves, so I immediately go there and try to kill him. But they FF at this point of the game. It was pretty rough for them. That was it. Pretty solid game, no deaths. Hopefully you guys learned a couple things for Quinn Jungle, and if you decide to give it a try, make sure to go for some normals first. If you liked the video, be sure to like, consider a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.